All right, all right. It's that time once again. It is the three black guys.
It's that time, the Three Black Guys Show. It's that time, the Three Black Guys Show. It's the three. It's the three Black Guys Show.
Okay.
Yeah. Alrighty then.
All righty then. I wasn't quite ready for that, but
That's the intro music, man. We ain't got no intro music.
that was something.
How much you need the intro music to the people making intro that make music?
Right.
You make films and direct. That's what I need you to do, sir.
So what he's saying is you need to stay in thy lane.
Stay in thine own lane and to thine own self be true.
Man, I put that to some music, man. Y'all have a whole different thing.
See, even our favorite person online already says no.
See, right there. And first, before we get started, let me say, and I meant to say this last Sunday, but we got caught up. Congratulations to Tracy with 2 E's. She is now a bride. Now a wife. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
You got a song for that?
Huh?
I was asking if he had a song for that.
Here and now. I promise to. I don't know the words to it though. But Tracy, I got you. So I'm gonna look up the words. I got you though. I got you, Tracy. Don't even sweat it. I got you.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Jesus, be offense around my ears.
Jesus, be some earbuds. Some noise canceling headphones, please, Jesus.
Man, y'all just don't appreciate good music. That's all that is.
Oh, I appreciate good music.
Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate good music. I just wasn't getting none right now.
One day I'm gonna show y'all what's happening though.
Okay.
I'm gonna show y'all.
Well, I'm waiting for it.
Okay. All right.
I'm waiting. Stop him. She said, "Stop him." Okay.
We can't. There is no stopping him. We can't. So congratulations, Tracy. I'm trying to share this out, guys. All right, here we go. All right, so let's get on with the show, man. How y'all doing? How was y'all week, man? How was everybody's week? Let's start off being cordial.
For me, go ahead, Jim.
Go ahead, Mario, because I had a boring week.
I had a long week. When your week it seems short, that means you were very busy. I was very busy. I did some 11 and a half, 12-hour days a week. So it went by fast. The weekend was short because I've been honeydewing all week. Honeydew this. Honeydew this. Boy, I'm so tired. I ain't sat down. I been ripping and running and doing everything that Honey wanted to do.
Well, you know, happy wife, happy life.
That's what they say, bro. It's a happy life for the wife. The man is wore out.
What you say? That's what they say, huh?
That's what they say. I was tired, Mouser. That's what I told him. I was so tired. Please let me rest just a little bit, please.
No, man, you home. You know, that's what we do. We get off work, we come home, and we do honeydew.
Dog, I done had the toilet apart. I done put new flush valve and all of that stuff in the toilet.
You've been doing your thing, homie.
Doing your husband thing, Doc.
So enough of me. Enough of my violin playing.
Right. Here you go, little.
Les said no comment.
What's up, Les? Hey, for everybody that logs in, we want you to please hit like, share this video out, man. We're trying to get our weight up, trying to get our numbers up, man. Get all this information that we have for everybody out. If you're new to us, come make a comment. Tell us where you're from. Invite some people, man. We're gonna have a little good time tonight. I had a good week, guys. The end of the week was a little weird, but yeah.
A little weird.
Little weird, but we're gonna get into that, man. So let's get into a couple things, man. We want to talk about tonight's really show is going to be about racism and having that talk. And but before we get to that, of course, I got to deal with your boy, 45.
Great man,
wonderful
man, wonderful man.
All right, so let's go with this. Let's go through this first. We got confirmed cases of COVID in the nation. 2.55 million recovered, which is always a great thing. We salute those and celebrate those that survive. Absolutely. You got 789,000 people that have recovered, and we are at 128,000 people have died under the watch of Mr. 45. Who had a playbook to go by, but we're not going to talk about that no more. We have 128 days. You hear me, guys? Listen to me good. 128 days until November 3rd, and we can tell this guy you're fired.
You're fired.
You sure that's what we're gonna tell him?
You're fired. I'm gonna do like he do when
I'm gonna do my best.
I'm gonna do my best.
He asked me, "Are we sure that we're gonna do that?"
Yeah. Are you sure?
Yeah. I sure am.
Okay. All right.
And do it with great pride and dignity.
You gonna do what?
I'm gonna do it with great pride and dignity. Watching it, I'm going to pose.
Great pride and dignity.
Great pride and dignity to watch him leave the office. Now,
I'm gonna put Kafifi on my ballot.
I think he's gonna do something stupid, when he knows it's his last term. I really think he's gonna do something stupid.
How much more stupid can he do?
Something stupid like signing an executive order for something that's already a law, like protecting the monuments. Something stupid like that.
Nah, it's gonna be way stupid than that.
That one right there, though, man. Listen, that one right there, though. I'm sorry. You signing an executive order for something that is already a law. Like, I don't even know if you can do that. Like, what? Like, I didn't get that. I didn't get that at all. So what does the executive order say? That the law
apparently neither did he.
He needed double protection. That's the monuments need double protection.
God, this idiot.
That one was funny to me.
Really?
So let's talk about this thing right quick. I'm gonna do two things with him, and that's the what may be treasonous was letting or finding out that Russia had put bounties out for American soldiers. In Afghanistan, and he knew about this previously, about in March, I believe it was. Have y'all heard about that?
I did.
So is that treason? Is that treason that he said nothing? He did nothing about it? What do you guys think?
Well, the problem with that though, is Steve, is that honestly he didn't make anything public, so we really don't know if he didn't or did say anything to somebody. I don't know. I think it's foolish for him not to address the American people on it. I hadn't heard it myself, but if there was an article or news or whatever that came out, I think that's important enough for him to address it with the people. Mm-hmm. I just don't know if he did say something to somebody else in the office and we just didn't know about it or not. And even if he didn't, I don't know if it's treason per se. Mm-hmm. I think it's stupid and unethical and immoral, but I don't know if it's treasonous. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Okay. I'm inclined to agree with that. I don't know if it's treason, but it was definitely dumb. But at this point, what has he done is not stupid. I mean,
okay. According to CNN, it says Russian intelligence officers for the military for the military intelligence, GRU. I guess that's the same as our FBI. Recently offered money to Taliban militants in Afghanistan as rewards if they killed U.S. or UK troopers. UK troopers there. A European intelligence official told CNN. The story was first reported by the New York Times. White House Press Secretary Kellyanne McEnany said in a statement that the president and vice president Mike were not briefed on the alleged Russian bounty intelligence. So, of course, they're going to deny it, though. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're going to deny it. But, I mean, him and Putin, it's tight. They boys, right?
That's his bedfellow.
Oh, my. Not the bedfellow.
That's his bedfellow.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just saying.
I think it sets a very. I mean, he's already called the Russian thing a hoax, and there's a whole lot of this Russian thing just keeps dogging him, and it keeps pulling the smoke. I'm sorry, with that loud guys kept pushing the smoke up from Russia, man. And you know, where there's smoke, there's got to be fire to me. And I believe that this man once again is showing that he is unfit for the office that he holds. He's got too many background and back office deals going on, man. For me, I can't trust a leader. He's not a leader to be trusted. So do you think this is a man who's still worthy to be trusted, guys?
He was never trustworthy. It's Donald Trump. Right.
Absolutely. You took it out of my mouth. I was going to say the same thing. He's never been trusted. I mean, come on.
Right. This Donald Trump we talking about, bro. I think, man, at this point, Donald Trump is just gloating in his own glory, his own fantasy world. He thinks he's untouchable. He thinks he can do anything he wants to do, and he's living that. You know what I'm saying? He's literally living that. So he can say things, he can tweet things, he can do things, and he feels like he's justified in doing it because he's the president of the United States. And so for me, of course, he's not trustworthy. He's never been. From the time he came out of his mother's stinking womb,
oh my God,
he has not been trustworthy. So, I mean, I
know the lady was stinky, dog.
But she had him.
Oh, okay.
Trifling one leg.
Oh my.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's Donald Trump you're talking about. No, he's not trustworthy at all. So you can't trust him at all.
You got anything, Mario?
James has just he's done it for me. He came out as mama, and that did it for me.
So speaking of Twitter, the president once again today has put out a video, retweeted a video of something that's going on down in Florida, the Villages, where they were having countering protests for and against Trump and Black Lives Matter. And there was a chant that was given out by some of the pro-Trump people, and one gentleman screamed out "White Power." to these people. And so once again, this brings into question Mr. Trump's is he racist or is he not? What do you guys think? Is he racist or is he just a bigot or he's just ignorant on how Twitter works?
White power. White power. Do I believe Donald Trump is racist, a bigot, an idiot, all of the above? White power.
And I want to ask people that are watching. I need y'all to chime in. Do you think that Donald Trump, and I want an honest answer. Do you think he's a racist? Do you think he's a bigot, or do you think he is just ignorant white man?
Carter said, pick one. And that's a fact. I noticed something. I knew something was a little myth. I saw him. Was it yesterday? I was looking at the news and I saw him. There was two shots of him, one getting on the plane and one walking across the courtyard at the White House, and he was doing a fist. He was doing a power fist. You didn't see it. I brought it to my wife's attention. I said, "Did you just notice he's given the power fist twice. I said I
Right.
saw it when he got off the plane. It's the same clip. It was in the same clip, and then he did it again when he was walking across the courtyard of the White House. He gave a black power. Well, I'm saying not a black power fist.
He
but
threw
a
up the fist.
Yes, he gave this, and I'm like, okay. Well, see, we know he ain't about black power.
He down, man. He down.
No, he ain't down.
No,
He
he
down.
down.
Cause.
No, he ain't down. White
He
power.
down.
Wow. Dave
Get
Chappelle.
that man a
white power.
black leather jacket and suit him up, baby. Suit him up.
I wish somebody would hook him up, but not like that.
He was talking about he stand with us.
Oh
no,
no,
he does not stand with us at all.
I wouldn't even.
So let's take a look.
You told me the Lord came down and touched you. If you came down and said the Lord touched your heart and you've been changed, you a born again Christian, I still don't want you in my corner. Go on somewhere. Get on out of here. Sit down somewhere.
Sit down. Sit down.
Sit down.
Let's see if we can take a look at this, guys. And let's see. Let me see if I can cue it up. Can y'all hear that?
Retweeted a video.
Bring it up.
One of his supporters yelling "White Power." Listen.
Bring the volume up if you can.
He didn't hear that part, man.
It's at the beginning of the video. What are you talking about?
Okay,
Man.
you said he didn't hear it, but then he comes back and says in this same thing that he doesn't miss anything. So did you hear it or did you not hear it?
He didn't hear it, man. That's why he
If
deleted
you let it continue to play, Steve. He'll say when he's confronted by one of the members of the press about it, he says he didn't miss anything.
Let me cue it back up. Keep talking amongst yourselves.
That's talk amongst yourselves. Give me a topic. Donald Trump, racist idiot. Yes, he is. So,
All right. Here we go. Let me cue it back up.
let that clip go ahead and play.
Listen.
Can you hear it?
There you go, white power. You hear that?
The video was finally yanked from the president's Twitter feed, but not until after being there for more than 3 hours. The White House's defense, the president didn't see it. The White House sending out this statement saying, in part, what he did see was tremendous enthusiasm from his many supporters. CNN's Jeremy Diamond is at the White House. What else is being said from the White House to explain all this?
Well, Frederica, it wasn't just that the president retweeted that video, but that he also attached the message to it saying thank you to the great people of the villages where that video was purportedly shot. Now, we did get some response from the White House, not only in the form of that statement that you just read, but also our colleague Jake Tapper got to ask the Secretary of Health and Human Services about it on his show this morning. And he also asked Republican Senator Tim Scott to respond to it. And the difference in the responses from those two individuals is pretty remarkable.
Now, check this out.
I've not seen that video or that tweet, but obviously neither the president and his administration nor I would do anything to be supportive of white supremacy or anything that would support discrimination of any kind.
The entire thing was offensive. Certainly the comment about the white power was offensive. There's no question. I mean, we could play politics with it or we can't. I'm not going to. I think it's indefensible. We should take it down. That's what I think.
So anyway.
I got mine from another angle.
Okay.
I want you to hear this. Hold on. Keep doing what you're doing. I can't. It's on my phone, but I'm going to let you hear the audio.
Okay.
Okay. Let me roll it ahead. Boom. Here we go. Let's get to this point.
The president sharing a 2-minute expletive-filled excerpt of the site's video, adding, "Thank you to the great people of the villages." Senator Tim Scott, the Senate's only Black Republican, called on President Trump to delete the post.
I think it's indefensible. We should take it down.
More than 3 hours after posting, he did.
This is really not about the president taking it down. This is about the judgment of the president and putting it up.
In a statement, the White House says the president did not hear the one statement made on the video, adding, "What he did see was tremendous enthusiasm from his many supporters." But the president has insisted he keeps a close eye on what he shares.
Did you notice that when you retweeted it?
Yeah, I noticed everything. As outrage over racial inequality sweeps the nation.
Did you hear that? The reporter asked him, "Did you notice that when you retweeted?" He said, "Yeah, I noticed everything." So he knew what the guy said.
He hoid it.
He knew. He hoid it.
He hoid it.
And so the only coon, the only guy, black guy in his cabinet, told him to take it down. And like the lady said, it's not. Yeah, cool. Cooley took it down, but it's more so about he had the gall to put it up.
Put it up, right?
You really had the nuts to put that up, bro.
Well, I just told you, man. He's operating in the "I can do whatever I want to do" type deal. And
this is not
you would think after 3,
huh?
I was saying, what you would think after 3 years he would get it by now? That you're not a king, you're not a dictator. You know what I'm saying? You're not God, even though you think you did more for Christians than Jesus.
Holding the Bible upside down in front of a church.
You know what I'm saying? You hold an upside down backwards Bible in front of a church, but come on, man. You would think after 3 years it would sink in that you don't have that you can't do what you want. America is not set up that way.
It's not set up that way.
Listen.
Oh, here you go.
We have talked about this several times on this show. We are dealing with Donald J. Trump. Okay.
And
I'll continue wanting him to think as a rational human being. That's not going to happen.
Okay.
This man, for the past, as I said, what is it, 70, 77, 70, however old he is now, ever since he came out of that one-eyed, peg-leg lady vagina, has just been absolutely ignorant. Okay? He's ignorant, and his mama ignorant for having him. So if you have those two things going on, you end up with an individual who just cannot think for himself. Okay, he only thinks of himself.
That's true.
You get what I'm saying? None of that is going to change. Not the office of the president, whatever he is, it's not going to change. This is a man who has multiple failed businesses and is still a millionaire. When you can do that, you have a little bit of arrogance to yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you can pull that kind of stuff off. When you can pull off the type of stuff to where people will pay you millions of dollars just to put your name on a building. That type of man,
but that type of man is dangerous with the power that he holds.
Very dangerous.
Very.
Very dangerous. That's exactly what I'm saying. It's very dangerous.
He's very dangerous. In the illustrious words of Danny B. Davis, that was the director of bands at Alabama State during my tenure there, he would say when we did something stupid, you are stupid. Your mother is stupid.
Right.
And you are an enemy of my band. I would say to him, he is stupid. His mother is stupid. And he's an enemy of this country. Get out of my country. I don't, Doc. That right there is he is so dangerous.
He's a very dangerous.
The thing is, though, he's not an enemy of the country, though. He's actually what this country loves.
No, he's what a sector of this country loves.
That's true. I would say I would give him that.
He's what a sector of this country loves.
This country was founded on the beliefs that Donald Trump has. I mean,
and it's being laid bare that is not what the country wants.
Right. The country, by and large,
that has passed.
And look at it from this perspective. Even under both of the Bushes, both of the Bushes were Republican. They did not excite a base like he has. Am I correct?
Right.
You know, it was about the Republican Party, but his is not about the Republican Party. It's about pushing a racist agenda.
Right.
That's what it is about him. So I say it's a sector, a small sector of the country that align with him. It's not.
I don't know if it's small enough though.
I tell you like this. He got in the office because I think a lot of us sat on our laurels.
He got in office because of the electoral college. He lost the popular vote.
You're correct.
The people didn't vote for him.
Right.
It was
the people that voted for the people that voted for him.
People that voted for the people.
Right.
That's why local elections are so important.
Right.
So important.
So
Exactly.
Ron Battle put on my page, he said he's the biggest spin doctor there is. There is alive. He'll never say anything straight out, but he uses the code speak. So that's true. He's not gonna right out say anything. You're right, Ron.
Right.
You are right.
He uses code speak. Shout out to Jacqueline Stevens Lawler. My man Carlton Mack is on here. Ernest Maiden Jr. What's going on, cuz? J Mac, what's going on, cuz?
Mac.
These are faithful tune-ins right here. Ernest and Jay, and we got D Dowell. That's a new she tuned in. She's new.
Yeah, I saw her.
How you doing, lady?
And Harold, of course, Harold's in here somewhere.
He's in here. Mark Abercrombie, what's going on, Mark?
So I want to go ahead and transition, guys, into kind of what we're going to talk about tonight, and this comes from my personal story. What was it? Last night, I had to have the racism talk with my children.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my!
And the reason I had to have what's up, Kenny? The reason I had to have the racism talk with my children is because we have some neighbors who are good people. You know what I mean? They're good neighbors. They're decent
Good people on both sides. Oh.
So my daughter was playing, and somehow it came up with with the neighbors next door. And the neighbor called my daughter and my son the N-word.
Say what now? Wait a minute, hold up. The adult neighbor?
No, the kids playing with the kids.
Okay.
Play with their kids.
That's why I set up. That's why I set up. I'm like,
right. I'm
in jail right now.
I'm finna ride over that way real quick.
I'm finna go pull the AK. I mean,
right. We gotta take care of this now. You know.
Wait. So they were playing with the kids. The kid that my daughter and the kids are next door were playing. You know, they've been playing all day long. You know, but somehow near the end of yesterday, or Friday, I'm sorry, I believe it was. It was yesterday. My wife corrected me because she can hear me. They called my children the N-word. And so, you know, I was on a call. We were on that call the other day, Mario. And I had to come back and explain, you know, to my children because they were, you know, they weren't hurt by it. I think I was more mad about it than my kids. But I had to explain to them what the N-word means.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to explain to them that that is not acceptable. Now, what I really wanted to tell my son was that somebody calls you that word, you know, I'm gonna need you to, you know, give him a 2-piece plus a biscuit. You know what I'm saying?
Take them off a 2-piece snack, baby.
You know what I'm saying?
A biscuit too?
You know, give him one of the bap bips. You know what I'm saying?
Skippity pap, baby.
So I want to talk about. Now, my children are 8 and 9 and 8. And the little girl who said this had to be all of 7 years old.
Wow.
7 years old. So we're talking about ignorance coming from the home. So I want to open it up to everybody that may be listening. And then you maybe want to share your story. Because, you know, I got called an N-word. I don't even know how old I was, but I was old enough to understand it. There wasn't these little tiny single-digit numbers when I got called an N-word by somebody as being hurtful. So, but how do you have these talks with these kids, guys? What do you say? How do you prepare them at these single-digit numbers and go?
Doc, it's a part. Let me jump in here, James. It's a part of our lives as Black people in America.
Right.
Is the deal is you cannot sugarcoat life for your kids. We don't have that luxury of sugarcoating life for our kids, because life for us is played on a different level than it is for anybody else. Whereas non-Black children, non-Black and brown children, can live life in a vacuum, in a bubble, and be naive for a long time about certain things. We can't afford that for our children. So as soon as they can understand really right from wrong, we got to start teaching them. We got to prepare them for what's happening around us. We have to. I had to have a talk with my kids, and it's sad, but that's how we have to. That's how we have to do as Black parents to protect our children and make them aware that because of the color of your skin, there are people that will just not like you. Even though you bleed the same blood they bleed, they won't like you simply because of the color of your skin. They feel that you are a lesser person than them because of the color of your skin. And so you have to, in this information age, we have to educate our kids about who they are, what they came from prior to slavery. Because if you leave it up to the school systems,
Right,
they'll have them believing their life only began at slavery. Their lives started with slavery, and that's not true. Our culture exactly started with slavery, and that's not the case. We formed civilizations,
libraries
rose and fell before their descendants were even a person on the planet.
Well, as my mother would say, crawled out of the caves.
I tried to say it nicely. You said it.
No,
right.
That's what my mother told
me. They
me.
were still cowering in caves in the Caucasus Mountains. We had civilization. We had mathematics. That's why I hate to hear little Black kids. And I know I'm going on a tangent, James. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you talk. But I hate to hear little kids say they don't like school. We come from an educated people. You know, we are educated people. We started written language. We started mathematics. All of those things. That's the stuff you don't learn in school. It took me a minute to realize that in history class, when they start talking about the Mesopotamians and medicine and all of the contributions that these civilizations, those were people of color. Those were Black folk, man. Care how you slice it. Those were Black people. That's us. So anyway, going back to my original topic, I'm going down a rabbit hole.
No, you fine, brother. Go ahead.
we have to, just like we have to tell our kids, you have to be twice as good. And this is a talk my folk had with me. You have to be twice as good to just be accepted in a white man's world. And even then, you might not be accepted. So I'm gonna give it to you. Before I do, shout out to Monique Farley, shout out to Katara Johnson, shout out to Sheila Colson. What's up, cuz? Just want to get them folks some shout outs. I saw them come on. Hey, somebody special on here. You see her? You don't? Her name is Phyllis. Say it to your Churchill Myers.
Oh, that's my mom.
Yes.
Hey, mom, what's going on? That's the one, guys, who put the Black power in me.
Lord.
That's my first Angela Davis right there. My mom.
What you talking about? Yes, Lord.
But go ahead, Fred. What did you have to have the racism talk with your son? Are you still having? He's what, 11, 12, 13?
My youngest is 12. Well, he'll be 12 next month.
Right.
Yeah, I've had that talk with all my kids, man, years ago. I started having that talk with them while they were real young, just to prepare them for what they may have to deal with. You know, one thing we got to remember is that I had to teach them, first of all, what racism was rooted in, and it's just a fear of losing power.
It's a fear of losing power. That's good, man.
That's good.
You know, so I had to first of all make them understand that that's where it comes from. That's what it is. These people are they're scared of using their so-called superior status. So when that fear comes along, of course, you want to get rid of what's putting that in danger. And now what's going on is that you have people that have been taught that. And the crazy part about it is that these people, a lot of these people, our president, for instance, he's the president of the United States.
Of the
But he has a racist rhetoric. So even the president of the United States is fearful of losing his status. You understand what I'm saying? So what I was doing is trying to show them the power that they have, that they might not even know that they have, that they have the ability and the power to remove these people from their superior status. And that makes them a threat. We talked about this on the show the other day about Funny Man and about what he did by becoming a voice for people whose voices hadn't previously been heard about that monument. And because of his voice, he then became a threat because he challenged that superior intellect that these people have, that superior fantasy world that they live in, that makes them think that they're above everything. And let me make this clear, and this may make some people mad, but you have Black people that are a part of this agenda and just don't realize it.
Come on, bro.
Okay? They just don't understand it. So because of that, they're actually a part of this agenda. Now, do I hold that against them? Absolutely. 100%. I absolutely do. They do not get a pass. They do not get a pass from me because the same way we understand it and we know it, they can too. They just choose not to, whether it's because of money, status, or whatever. So I started teaching my kids early, man. You know, don't believe this thing. You know, when we were growing up and our teachers used to tell us, you know, you can be anything you want to be and you can do anything you want to do with hard work. Well, it's true to a sense, but for Black folks,
you go.
There's a lot of other variables in there.
Right.
You know,
There's a lot of hurdles.
That's
it's
a lot of hurt.
And so I wanted to prepare my kids for that. Yes, I want you to go to school and get your education and all that. But your white friend that's sitting next to you is going to have it easier than you are going to have. And anybody that doesn't believe that is fooling themselves.
Right.
Anybody who don't believe, I've had Black people come and tell me, man, that's not true. And they're just, man, I don't know. See, to me, that's a person who doesn't even understand their own strength. And I've explained this to white people. Yes, if me, and this is proven, I went to school with some white people, man, that got jobs and internships at computer companies that I did not get, and I was a better programmer. I didn't get these opportunities that they got.
Right.
And my dad told me why. You a nigga, son. What you expect? You know what I'm saying? That was his. I mean, that's you know, it was real simple. But no, son, you wasn't gonna get that opportunity. Look at you and look at them. And so I saw this stuff, man, coming out of middle school, listen, I was taking computer classes during the summer in middle school. I was at Michigan State taking computer classes. But my white counterparts who didn't know half of what I knew, man, these cats there's a guy I went to school with now, man, working at Microsoft to this day. 2 years out of high school, they offered him a 6-figure income. And he wasn't nowhere near the programmer I was.
So let me ask you a question, guys. Is it, you know, because a lot of people, I'm gonna try to come at this 2 different ways. You know, I'm trying to put it in the form of a question. Because I try to prepare my son also and let him know, man, that you are going to have a rougher time than the kids across the street.
Right.
That's just the way it is. How do we help white people, or I should say non-Black people? I guess that sounds a little bit less offensive. How do we help white people because we got to have a talk with these people across the street about their children, right?
Mm-hmm. But that's being taught. But go ahead.
Right. How do we talk to them and say, hey, man, you know, I mean, they know their kids are saying it, but how do we tell white people that, man, you are, how do we inform them on what to do with their kids?
You don't have to inform them on what to do with their kids. All you have to do is go and tell them, hey, listen, your little snot-nosed kid called my kids a nigga, and I would like for you to tell me where they got that from. And the reason why you want to know is not to start a fight or not to beat nobody up, but I want to know where I stand with you. So I know from this day forward who I got next to me. Hold on, Mario. I know you. Hold on. Hold on. Because I think I know where you finna go with it. But I'm saying no. And the reason why I say that is because you still have to live next to these people.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So but I need to know where I stand with you. Because because I know where they got it from. You understand what I'm saying? I know where they got it from. If they didn't get it from you, they got it from somebody that they're around a lot, but you had to allow. And I'm going to assume you know who your kids are around.
Right.
This isn't a teenager we talking about. This is a 7-year-old or 8-year-old or whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think it's a direct conversation of this is what happened. Okay. You can listen to their thoughts on it. They're going to feed you some nonsense. Of course. They're going to feed you some nonsense. But I think you just take the direct route. Mario, let them have it.
Okay. In the illustrious words of my father, McDaniel Leonard Jr.
Oh God. Do I need a beat?
My cousin Sheila Colson on here. They called him Uncle Junior. Pawpaw the Great, as he's known by his grandchildren, instructed me, if a white boy call you a nigga, knock his ass out. And that was it. Right there. So I would go to their parents and say all of that good stuff that James just said. And on the end of that, I would say I have informed him, and I'm letting you know the next time your son call my son a nigga, he gonna knock his ass out. Okay, and I'll leave it right there. And that's the end of that story.
Well.
So I was trying to take the more
diplomatic, creative.
Yeah, the diplomatic approach. You know what I'm saying?
I'm from Wylam. We ain't diplomatic. I'm straight out of Wylam, baby.
Well, there you go, Steve. That's the advice right there. I say take that advice.
Well, I would say, but I like both of your approaches, and I'm definitely going to teach my son to give. I'm definitely going to give. Let's see, what she say?
She said what I said. She said you don't have to live close by these people. They move when you come into their community. Why would you want to live by someone who hates you? Kick his ass out. Knock his ass out. I'm sorry.
Right. All right, Steve, tell your boy to knock him out, man. I'm overruled. Just tell him to knock him out, man.
That lady's maiden name is Leonard on the end. She understands where I'm coming from.
So, all right, and maybe I was trying to find a way to help them understand how they are, but like you said, ignorance is bred in the home, guys. And you know, if they want to make a change because well, no, I'm not gonna go into personal stuff, but anyway, you know, we don't say that word here, right? You don't. Sure, you don't say the word here. Because your children are an exact reflection of who you are, y'all. All right.
Right.
All right. So is anybody you know, how can, who might be listening, how would you have that racism talk with your kids if it came to that? Of course, I'm gonna have to teach my son how to give them 2 pieces and a biscuit. But if
exactly.
And my daughter, unfortunately. But how have y'all handled racism? Now let me ask you this, Mario. How have you handled racism? Because you're out there and you deal with the public intimately. Because you go into some of the places I would never go to. doing, you know, as you deliver things. So how do you deal with racism? Are you a person of education that tries to teach them, or are you two pieces in a biscuit?
I let me tell you what I do, and you are 100% right. I deliver to some places I have never even heard the names of. And when I go there, you can tell they ain't seen a black person in a long time. Right. I'm mindful about how I carry myself. I don't carry myself humbly. I carry myself, and when I step down out of my truck, I walk like I mean business. I look like I mean business. I walk with I hold my head up, my shoulders back. I make sure I give you every vibe of mess with me if you want to, and I'm gonna beat the brakes off your ass. That's how I carry myself. That's how. Now, when I'm doing my job and I have to interact with customers, I'm professional. It's all about this business. Example, just had this conversation with Eric at the dinner table before the show. I was in one of these little small towns in nowhere, Alabama, rebel flags everywhere, that whole deal. I delivered to this company, and this old white guy, I would say he's in his, you know, it kind of, I would assume he's in his late 50s by his looks, but you know, that can be misjudged. Late 50s, early 60s. He came out with a Trump 2020 hat on. So as I come out to the business, he has to open the gate to let me in my truck. And he has on a Trump 2020 hat. As he's walking toward me, I see him. And he notices that I notice his hat. But in that instance, it's just about business. I'm here to deliver a product to the company that you work for. Let me do my transaction. And I'm gone. I don't care. I told her, I expect everybody in these little small towns that I go in to be a Trump supporter. If I get anything different, cool. But I expect everybody to have a certain viewpoint on race, politics, and religion from a particular slant. So I go in with the mindset of I could possibly meet that today. And the fact that I don't shocks me. Not shocks me, but it's a pleasant surprise. Let me say it like that. But on this day, this guy comes out with the Trump hat on, and he notices that I notice his hat, and he keeps this little dumb smirk on his face, like he's waiting on me to say something. Well, I didn't really have anything to say because I knew where you stood. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And you can tell by my body language, I wasn't mad, I wasn't huffy. It was about doing this business transaction. Hey man, what do you need me to? What door you need me to back on? Da 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 da. I handled the job, got my paperwork signed. Y'all have a good day. I'm gone. You know what I mean? But I believe it's all in how you carry yourself in situations. Why is my brother calling me?
You want to talk to you?
You want to talk to you? Yeah?
Hold on. Let's take this call.
Okay.
Yes, may I help you?
Where you at?
Where am I?
Yeah.
In front of my computer with the microphone in my face on air. What you got to say? You on nope. You on air?
Online?
Huh?
No, you online. You online. I get off the phone.
Okay.
I'll call you back when you get off.
Oh, okay. Bye-bye. So to complete that, I thought he was gonna say something ignorant. He didn't. But to complete that, you know, when you're in a position where you have to be professional, be professional. Carry yourself with business. Carry yourself with pride, but handle your business and get out of there. And I've had some people try to talk to me about politics and things of that nature, and I say, hey man, you don't want to have that conversation with me. Matter of fact, I can't have that conversation with you while I'm at work and in uniform. So I'm gonna leave that alone. You have a good day. I'm gone.
I hear you.
She's my grandson.
Yeah, Monique said, I just had that conversation with my. Oh, you got it. Go ahead. My bad.
You got it.
Okay, I just had the conversation with my grandson. My belief, just because you called me that doesn't mean that
that's what I answered to.
Don't give your power by allowing yourself to be provoked. That's true too. because you give a lot of people power when they
See, Mario,
start
see
pushing
how
the button.
diplomatic that is, Mario? You see how
That's a Leonard too. That's the other side of the
That's
Leonard.
that's my sister.
See?
That's the oldest of the Leonard clan.
See?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
But that's the answer that I expect out of my sister, because she is a, you know, she's not a violent person. She's the female in the family. Now, if you talking to me and my brother, it's another ball game. You understand? She's the diplomatic person.
Right.
That's her. I expect that answer from her. I really do. My mama, she's a product of my mom. My mom taught the girls to be ladies and the men to be gentlemen. My daddy taught us how to be men. Different ball game.
I got you.
That's a whole nother talk right there. James Fred, as we about to shut it down in a few minutes, how have you dealt with racism in your life, sir?
So the last white person that actually called me a nigga to my face, I shot at him. But hold on. I was younger.
What?
Okay. I was younger. I was a little bit more hot-headed then. You see what I'm saying? So it was different. But I have inadvertently been called that, not face. I've had references made. And my thing is this, man. This is the people that I know that did this is what I expected from them. So for me, it wasn't really that big deal. And they didn't say it to my face. They didn't. So whatever you want to put online, you know what I'm saying? And what it was, this particular guy, I had made a post. This was a few years ago. I had made a post and I go to his page and he made a reference about the nigga likes to post this kind of stuff, blah, 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 blah. And it was directed at the post that I made. But like I say, I expected this from this person. You know what I'm saying? This is a cat who worked at the same place that I did at the time, and I already knew his rhetoric. So that didn't offend me. I knew he wasn't ever going to call me that to my face. I did tell him about it at work. Like, I saw your post and I saw your reference. You know, anytime you want to talk to me about it, we can do that.
Right.
And of course, you know, I got the, you just misheard what I said and it wasn't about you. And even if it wasn't about me, it was about a nigger. So guess what?
Right.
You still
revealed yourself.
You still said it. So whatever. But at this point, man, you know what? They don't affect me, my family, or my pocket. They have no bearing on anything that I do. So if that's how they want to feel, man, then let them feel it. I don't dignify them with enough attention to where it bothers me now, unless it's brought directly to me. Now, if you say it directly to me, that's a different story. But what people want to post online, man, and what people want to say behind my back, man, let them, man, you know what? Y'all do y'all thing.
And that's my standpoint. I mean, I'm talking about if when it meets me at my front door, that's when I address it.
Right.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You can do whatever you want behind your back. I expect you to certain things I expect from a certain type of person. I expect that. But when it meets me at my front door, I'll address it. I can remember times being a teenager. When you're young, racist white people will try you. They'll say a little sly stuff because I think they understand you might not be old enough to understand where it comes from, and they can slip some stuff by you. As an adult, I have not had that experience in my adult life.
Right.
But I can remember as a teen and late teens, I can remember watch this. I can remember working for I used to be a host at the Olive Garden in college. Greet you at the front door.
Oh Lord.
Greet you at the front door, seat you. I can remember it was lunchtime on a busy, maybe a Wednesday, but there was a white girl that was a hostess. We worked together. And so lunch was almost over. Things had slowed down, and we were just kind of standing up at the front counter, as you'll see when you walk into the restaurant. And we was kind of talking, and she started talking, and she just kind of linked my arm and was like, just talking to me. So a white guy came out of the back with the group. He came out, and we had our back turned, and he was kind of walking out the door. He said, "Hey, I see you." We looked at each other, looked at him, and like, "What?" "I see you." Let his arm go. She was like, "Why?" They have cooties. Didn't you know that? They do. Black people. Oh, so I broke from her and started running. She grabbed me by my belt, the back of my belt, and grabbed me and started. I was spinning wet, and I gotta be 20 maybe 19 or 20. I was finna whoop this white dude's ass. And she grabbed me with both hands, with everything she had, dragging me to keep me off of this dude. And he rushed on out of the door. I was done for the rest of the day at work. That pissed me off so bad. But there you go.
I got a couple questions before we go, man. Do you think in the time of Trump, and we've got a lot of the council culture going on, do you think he has revealed more racism, or is it like Will Smith is just being filmed more? Or do you think that people are just emboldened to be who they are? Now they feel like they can just come out with it. What do you think?
Combination of both. It's always been here. But like you said, people now we have camera phones now. You can see it more. Racism has always been here. We went through a cool down period with it being blatant racism and racism in your face. It went from more of blatant racism to a systematic thing that was behind the scenes more, I think.
Or do you think it became blatant under Obama? You think those were the embers of it?
That's when in my opinion, that's when it really started to kick back up.
Right.
Yeah.
That's when it started to kick back up. But for most of our teenage years and most of the time that we've been alive, fellas, because I think we're all right around, it was more of a
Fred old.
I ain't as old as y'all.
No, Fred is old as heck, dude.
That's y'all.
During my teenage years, you never saw it just out in my face. It was a more behind the scenes thing.
I want to say this one thing, man. When I first moved to Birmingham, in DC, it was such a melting pot where I grew up that we really didn't have it a lot. You know what I mean? And so when I was in DC, I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it at all. I rarely heard it. DC back then was still Chocolate City, but I didn't hear. I wasn't called a nigger until I moved to Birmingham. I was walking down the street with a young lady, and these cowards rolled by in a car and yelled out "nigger" or "niggers" because it was both of us in the car, and I really hadn't heard it come from somebody white in a long time until I moved down south. But I want to go back to the question because we were sharing stories. I thought about it. But James, do you think it's the era of Trump has just irritated this sleeping giant, the sleeping disease of racism, and now that's come to fore?
Yes. I believe that his rhetoric made a lot of people feel like now I can be seen with it. I don't have to hide it. I can come out a little bit more because our leader feels that way. But at the same time, I'm more inclined to believe that you're going toward what Will said. With the age of social media, it's just being recorded. Whereas, people could sit around their houses and talk however they wanted to, and it was cool. But now their kids have these cell phones, and they're, and this stuff is being recorded. These videos that pop up, man, with people saying racist stuff and then blackface and all that, I'm on the fence with that stuff.
How so?
Let me tell you why. And the reason why is because you have somebody that will post a video somewhere of them in blackface and then be surprised when they get fired, or then play the victim, when black folks start threatening them. I just, for me, man, now hear me when I say this. I think some of it is purposely put out there.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying? To incite something to get a certain reaction. Now, some of it is just stupid folks. Don't get me wrong. A lot of it is just stupid people. But I do think some of it, man, is just because you can't do that. And then tomorrow you doing an interview talking about you crying because now you done lost your job.
Mhm.
You just
Right.
posted a video of you in blackface. What the hell? You know what I'm saying? And I do think some of it is put out there to incite a certain things. That's why when I have conversation, I just had conversation a couple weeks ago with a bunch of white dudes on Facebook that was talking about the rioting. And because they didn't get the response out of me that they wanted by saying dumb stuff, it just pissed them off even more. Throughout the conversation, they were getting more and more upset and saying more and more stupid stuff. But because I wasn't cussing and fussing and going back, I'm hitting them with straight conversation and asking questions. Man, they were getting heated.
Yeah.
Like if they'd have been in front of me, man, we'd have been boxing. And I didn't say nothing. They just didn't get the reaction out of me that they wanted. They wanted me to act a fool and go to cussing them out. And that's just, I don't have to do that because y'all stupid, and I know that. Y'all ignorant. Y'all have no good sense whatsoever. Y'all don't have a pot to piss in. Why am I going to be around here arguing and fussing with y'all? That make me look stupid. All I'm trying to do is get you to see that you are racist because you keep telling me you're not, but you keep saying this racist stuff. And all I was doing was just copy and pasting what they were saying. Whenever they would tell me I'm not racist, I just copy and paste something they said. That's a racist statement. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
You just said black folks are a problem. That's a racist statement, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'm showing you what you said, but you mad at me because you said it.
Right.
Right.
So at the end of that, ain't none of them on my friends list no more. They done all deleted me. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I know they probably got amongst themselves and called me all kinds of names. But
of course,
I mean,
absolutely.
I think it's because now, man, it's being called out. It's being called out more. It's being shown more. And I think that's what the issue is. But definitely, though, I do believe that Trump, his rhetoric has inspired some of these people to feel like, you know, Mario Shirt said it, you know, don't let your president get your, you know,
get your head whooped.
Right. You know
I'll say it. You ain't got to.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what's happening. He's saying stuff so they feel like they can say it. But like I've told some white people, we can't get to him. Bro, I know where you at.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I can't get to the White House.
Right, but I can get to you.
To slap him, but I can get to you. So be careful. You know what I'm saying? Don't let, and when I slap you, he ain't gonna come to your defense. So be careful of that. You know what I'm saying? Be careful. Listen, that is a public service message to any white people that are listening to this. Understand that, okay?
Understand it.
Your president is not going to protect you if you say something stupid to some black person that you know, and they haul off and slap the piss out of you. All right. So remember that before y'all think that you protected just because he says stupid stuff. Remember that, man. Please remember that. I'm trying to help y'all out. I'm trying to keep y'all from getting a taste slapped in y'all mouth. You got Mario around here with pistols and AKs and stuff, and you got other folks around here, man. Y'all got to be careful. Y'all got to be careful, man. Somebody put you, President Trump ain't coming to your defense.
Hey, look, Mario, and now you know.
Right. Now you know. I'm just saying.
All right, last topic, guys. The Confederate flag. Does it stay or should it go?
The one on the General Lee needs to stay where it's at. All the other ones.
We're not talking about the General Lee tonight, man. I'm talking about the flag.
I'm just saying there's a Confederate on the General Lee. We need to leave that one alone. But all the other flags, excuse me?
No.
Watch and see what happens. touch
Are you-
L star on that car and see what
Are
happens.
you threatening me, Mr.
On a
Friend?
relief card, boy.
L star on that. And I'm telling you right now, y'all gonna have this show. First of all, it's gonna be the Two Black Guys show because y'all gonna put me off. And y'all gonna be out here talking about that's the biggest coon I done seen walking around. This nigga got a Confederate shirt, some Confederate shoes, walking around in a cowboy hat with a MAGA bumper sticker on it.
Oh,
Touch and star on the General Lee, and we got a problem. Now, if y'all want to take down any other flag, go right ahead, man. I am with it. I am okay. It's all good, and we can make it happen. Y'all gotta leave the General Lee alone, though. And that's all I got to say about that.
oh, okay. Well, you said, does it stay or does it go?
Heritage or treason?
I say it in all political and official situations.
Mm-hmm.
The Confederate flag must go. The great state of Mississippi, Mississippi is what are they? Are they voting to remove the ballot? Or it's a law getting ready to come out, of ordinance, or what is it? Steve, give me
Right. They're
correct
trying
terminology.
to get rid of the flag. The
Because it's
Confederate
part of their state's flag.
Right.
It is.
Right.
So they're going to have to do a complete overhaul of their state flag because it contains the Confederate battle flag. In situations like that, get rid of them.
Right.
Get rid of it. In all of those situations. Now, you as a citizen, if you want to fire the Confederate flag, the battle flag over your house, in your yard, whatever, that's your business. But any place that my tax dollars pay for, you got to get that crap down.
Right.
I don't want it there. My tax dollars going to pay for that, huh?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, if my tax dollars is going to support this thing, I want it down. I don't want to see it. I don't care. I don't care if you call it heritage. You lost.
Right.
You lost. That's like you going all the way to the Super Bowl and losing. Well, the losing teams don't get t-shirts printed out. They send them over to a third world country for the folk to wear over there somewhere.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? They don't sell them
you,
t-shirts here. You see what I'm saying? Pull that. I almost cussed. I almost said another word.
Well,
Pull
you
that stuff.
show. Go on and do your thing.
I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to represent myself and my family well. So I will curse a little bit, but it's time for that to come down. It's time for that to come down. That's my thing on that. I'm done with it. Go ahead.
James, anything? I'm sure you agree, except for the General Lee, which is going to be chopped.
You heard what I said. Touch and star. On
Mississippi Senate passed a resolution to change its Confederate thing. There you go. Thank you, James.
Yeah,
Thank you, James.
though, in public places, something like that has got to go. I mean, you know, it's like you said, man. You want to put it in your front yard and do your thing with it, cool. But in public places, it's got to go. And that's what people got to understand, man. You know, the same thing with the monuments. You know, y'all said, last week that they need to put them in a museum or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Cool, do that. You know what I'm saying? But you can't put up stuff, man. If your heritage or if this symbol of what you call your heritage represents hate, then if that's just ridiculous. Put it in your yard if it's your heritage. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Do that. But on a public display, like in Mississippi, people got to live in the state with this symbol of hate flying over them. But at the same time, you want them to respect and love the place they at.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want, a lot of these white folks say, well, if you don't like it, just move. Well, what you think gonna happen if all the black folks move out of Mississippi? What you gonna do? What you gonna do if all the black folks move out of America? What y'all gonna do?
What you gonna do?
You couldn't build it without us. So what makes you think you're gonna be able to sustain it without us?
Come on, sir.
Say that, sir.
So cut this stupid stuff out. I mean, which is it? Are black people taking all y'all jobs and stuff, or are we not? Because if that's the case, then when we leave, what y'all gonna do?
That's it.
All right.
I mean, just be smart with it, man. Be smart with it. And to any white person that wants to buy me a ticket to Africa, I'll be more than happy to take it. Me and my family would be happy to roll up out of here, man. And I ain't got no reservations about it whatsoever. But I'm here. I'm making the best of it. I'm going to do my thing regardless of what y'all put in front of me or what y'all do, because that's the strength of black people.
Yes, sir.
See, we've learned to adapt, and we can be successful despite the obstacles, not the fact that they're not there. Despite that they are there, we have what we need to persevere against it. So y'all need to get your weight up.
Let me say this before you get it, Steve. We're talking about Confederate flags, Confederate monuments. There's a guy named Jeffrey Robinson, and I think I posted it. I posted a TED talk that he did. But if you go to the web, it's a website called Now This Politics. Jeffrey Robinson is the deputy legal director of the ACLU, and he does a breakdown in history. You know, we had all of these Confederate monuments and stuff going on.
I saw that.
Okay, so basically what he says was, at the time, you have to parallel, parallel between when these Confederate monuments went up in the South, or just across the country. It always went up. Those monuments went up during the time of something else happening in the black community, an uptick in the black community. If it was an extreme high or something going on, something was on the uptick in the black community, then a Confederate monument went up. After King got assassinated, some Confederate monuments were put up. You know, just various points in history where stuff was going on in the black community, things that we were having to deal with, paralleled when these monuments went up. And I thought, that's it right there. That's it right there.
Yeah, it's on YouTube, guys. Hope and Power of the Individual, the Truth About the Confederacy. You can find it on YouTube.
Yeah. No, that was a real good TED talk. He did a great job on that. I posted a couple of different videos. One, like you said, about racism. I posted like 3 videos this week about I posted that. I think I posted one from PBS about the origins of race in the US, which was very interesting. It was a PBS thing. And that was very interesting. And it was something else that I posted. I can't remember what it was. But that's it. Go ahead.
Well, guys, we can do our parting thoughts right about now, man. Anybody? For me, I don't, I don't want to beat a dead horse. I believe all monuments, flags of losers should be left left in museums. The flag of the Confederacy is treasonous. It was uprising, a rebellion, and we know what the Bible says about rebellion is as wickedness. So it's America's true wickedness that needs to be left to time in a museum. It does not need to be paid for by my tax dollars. We don't need to. I don't want my tax dollars going to the upkeep of a statue or a flag flying. We don't need any remnants of that rebellion flying or being shown, because they lost. You're a bunch of freaking losers to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's a waste of time to fly those things. So any parting thoughts, guys, as we finish up tonight?
I will say racism is here. Racism is not going anywhere. I think we are reaching a turning point in our history for some change, for some positive change in race relations. But racism is not going anywhere. It will be with us until the bitter end. I think racists are feeling the chokehold being put on them. Pressure is being applied. Not every white person is a racist. And I think once those people continue to speak out and call racism where they see it, the smaller the circle of racists becomes. And what I mean by that, the more pressure you put on them, they tighten the ranks, is what I'm saying. I'll also say in my final parting thoughts, Black parents, raise your Black men to be men. Raise your women to be ladies, and let's try to teach our children that we as Black men and Black women need each other.
Right.
You know, I know you find love where you find love, but we need each other. We need to start promoting again Black family in our community. We have to have a strong. I think everything that will help the Black community first starts with a strong family base. That's it.
So
Fred?
I agree with Mario about not every white person being racist. I need my white folks, though, who are not racist. You have to become anti-racist in order to be able to help us. It's not just good enough to not be racist. Because just being not racist means you're okay with Black folks. It ain't no big deal. But you've got to be anti-racist. And being anti-racist means you're going to join in this fight. Means that you are going to pick up the sign and march with us and occasionally throw a brick with us. But even in saying that, as Black people, we have to stop expecting white people to join in with us. If they do, it's wonderful, it's great. But when it comes to fighting for us, this is something that we're gonna have to do. Period. And that's just bottom line. If we want this change to happen, like this, it don't take, man. And the Black Panther showed us this years ago. It don't take a lot. All it takes is a small group of people to say we're done with it in our own community. So it takes a small group of people to go out and police your own community. It takes a small group of people to make sure that when Pookie get caught breaking in somebody's house, Pookie makes it to jail.
Right.
And Pookie gets a trial, and Pookie goes to jail for breaking in that house. We don't need Pookie dead on the street somewhere, choked out or been shot. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing we did with Nate Woods all those years ago. I was there. We followed the police car to the police station because we knew what happened. And our thing was, this dude ain't gonna make it to the police station if somebody don't make sure you get there. The police officers were killed. You know what I'm saying? And so it's gonna take us to do stuff like that. I understand we need leadership and I understand we need funding, but it's got to start someplace. You know what I'm saying? We can't expect people to give money to a cause that isn't even functioning yet. You understand what I'm saying? We want to defund the police, and I'm all cool with that. But we got to have some place to put that money to. We've got to, if we want it to go to a community organization, then we need to make sure there's a community organization set up for that money to go to. You see what I'm saying? So
we can talk about that defund the police on the next show.
Well,
I like that. Not just saying, no, we can.
We can talk about it in depth because there's different levels to it. There's people talking about different things. Disbanding the police isn't going to work.
Right.
Defunding is the option, but people don't understand what that means. So yeah, next show we can go into depth with that. But there still has to be some place for the money to go. So if we're going to make a change, I think it's simply good enough for some people to get together and say, all right, hey, in this community, we need to start doing this, and then go ahead and start doing that. You understand what I'm saying? Go ahead and start doing that. We don't want a lot of police interaction in our communities, then we have to be that. We have to be that because crime still happens. That's just bottom line. That's just the bottom line to it. So we still got to have some way. And let's be honest, y'all. The police don't prevent crime. They show up after the crime is already done.
Right.
more policing has never helped prevent crime. So we have to, in our own communities, start figuring out ways to prevent the crime. Conflict resolution, crime intervention. If you see something going on, intervene. You know what I'm saying? Prevent the crime from happening, then the police don't have to come. But to everybody that's all for policing and the police keep us safe and all that, how? In what world? When? Do they keep it? They show up after Pookie got shot. Or they show up after Diane house been broken into.
Right.
Or they show up after they done beat the brakes off of Billy and carjacked him. So
Right.
who keeping safe from what? But that's it, man.
That boy was finna go down that rabbit hole, boy.
Yeah, I
He
was
was,
man.
boy.
I
He
was
was headed down the road, man.
I was finna really go. I'm done though. I'm done.
Okay. All right, guys. Last thing I gotta say is, man, you're gonna have to get your kids early, teach them early. Like I had to have a talk with my children. I was hoping not to have that talk so early, but I don't think their little minds grasped it yet. But teach your kids early about racism and their role, especially little black kids, little black boys, little black girls. We're having to have those talks earlier now. We have to tell them how to behave themselves. Unfortunately, in public, they can't really almost be themselves, which is to lose their individuality about that. So start teaching kids young. Let them know to be strong, even in the face of adversity, and how to handle themselves when it comes to that.
Well, Mario already said you put what you call Mario, the skibbity paps, the stimbity,
put the skibbity paps on.
Yeah. So that's how y'all handle that right there.
Right.
Go ahead, Steve.
Problem solved.
Well, I'm gonna try to teach my kids to be diplomatic at first, but if it don't work, then you can give them the 2-piece and the biscuit. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Once all avenues have been exhausted, just go ahead and give them the 2-piece and the biscuit, and they'll respect you. But you guys teach your kids early, train them up, and keep them safe, guys. And that's all I got to say about that. It's been another wonderful show. 3 black guys, put your 3s up, everybody. Put your 3s up. We see y'all next week, same time, same channel. 3 black guys. You gonna say this out?
Black Guy Show. Ooh, Black Guy Show. It's the 3 Black Guy Show.
Yeah.
We'll see y'all next week.
Peace.